Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen, and here we explore an experiential approach to spiritual awakening and manifestation, or as I like to call it, the law of reflection. In today's video, I actually wanted to explain a question that I got in the comments of one of my last videos, which was I've been doing everything right for so long, for so many years. I've been following everything that I need to do. I've been doing all of the work. Why has my desire not manifested yet? So, the reason I wanted to answer this, firstly, because it's a question that I get all the time. And secondly, because if you have been working on manifesting a particular desire and it has been years or it has been what you would consider a long time with little to no results, it's not true that you are technically doing everything right. And I don't say this to cause anxiety or to make anyone feel bad, but to actually direct you to where you may be holding subtle limitations in your awareness. And that is the reason that it has not manifested yet, so to speak. Now, obviously, my answer to this question would be different depending on the individual that is asking me. However, there are some more general self inquiry questions that you can ask yourself in order to see where these subtle limitations may be within you. So, the first question to consider is if you had to summarize the current situation right now in just a few sentences, what would it be? So, pause the video and think about it for a moment. What is a brief summary of your situation as it currently stands? Okay. So if your answer was not, my desire is already done, then that is already one reason why you're not experiencing it. It's as subtle as that. What you're currently experiencing is the story that you are projecting out and the meanings that you have made about what you are currently experiencing, your interpretation of that. And so that is why you are seeing what you're seeing rather than what you want. So, in order to get further into alignment, you need to drop whatever limiting stories you have about the way you think things currently are. And remember that the divine mirror shows us what we are aware of being. So, the story that you just used to answer my question is what you're aware of being. So if you're aware that it's not here yet, that it's taking all this time, that you've tried everything and it's not working, this is what you're going to experience. And most people that have this story that it's taking time and nothing's working, they continue reacting to that subtle belief every couple of weeks or months. When they don't see the results that they want, they continue spinning this story that it's not working. And then they wonder why they don't see it because they're not aligned with it. Not in any significant way. They're actually aligned with it's not here. So remember, the mirror doesn't lie. And the second question is, do you believe that your desire is likely to manifest in the next 3 years? What about the next 2 years? What about in 1 year's time? 6 months? 3 months? 1 month? What about next week? Do you believe it's likely to manifest next week? What about the next few days? What about any moment now? If your answer was that you don't think it's likely to manifest in the next year or even the next month, you can't really expect to see it shortly. It's as subtle as that. Again, you simply don't believe that it is likely that you will experience it anytime soon. Ideally, you would want to be in the alignment of it is already done and I'll experience it in any moment. And from there, you would be fully surrendered. You would be fully in the knowing. That's what it means to be in the knowing. It means you know it's already done. And that would be the ideal alignment to be in. And that is when you will see things manifest very quickly from that level of alignment. But most people are not in that level of alignment, especially when they're telling themselves that it's been so many years and they haven't seen any results. And thirdly, if you do have a hard time believing that your desire would manifest anytime shortly, if you do believe it's more likely that it would be a year or years from now or just not soon, ask yourself why. What are the reasons why you believe that? And list those beliefs out. And all of those beliefs will also be adding more subtle layers to why it hasn't manifested yet. So, just to recap this, number one, it hasn't manifested because you don't believe it's already done. You instead believe a story about your desire that is limiting you in some way. Secondly, you don't believe it would happen anytime soon. So, how can you expect it? And thirdly, you have a whole bunch of stories about why it would not manifest anytime soon. And without knowing you personally and the nuances of anything else you might be telling yourself, that's the foundation of why it's not here. Just that. And if you were to just shift those three things that I mentioned to you to where you already are living in the knowing that it's done, to where you're dropping any stories about why it is the way it is or why it can't manifest now or even next week, then you will actually start to see a shift. So instead of focusing on all the things you need to fix about yourself and how to improve your self concepts that you can be a bigger, better version of self, so now you finally can get your desires, just focus on what I said. Drop the stories that are in the way, that appear to be in the way, and go to the knowledge that it's already done. And with that said, I actually just want to talk a little bit about what it's already done actually means, because I understand there can be some confusion around that phrase. So, it's already done does not mean that you are physically experiencing the desire right now. You're not. So there's no point pretending that you are. So it's already done does not mean you already have it, you're already experiencing it, and that you have to pretend. That's not what that means. It's already done means that consciousness or God is everything all at once. And all of these different expressions of God, all of these realities of what God can be and is, are all parallel to one another, all happening all at once. Creation is already finished. Manifestation, conscious manifestation, is the act of moving your awareness to the reality that you wish to experience and drawing your attention away from the current reality. It's already done means that it is already part of the infinite possibilities in consciousness, and that all you need to do is select it. Manifestation is about making a decision and staying there. And before I end this quick video, I just wanted to recommend the sway test method from the book, The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Now, I do recommend that you get the book or look at the exercise yourself, but just to briefly tell you what it is. In order to do the sway test, you will need to stand up and just have your body relax. Don't lock your knees. And as you relax into just standing straight, say to yourself the word yes. No, you can say it out loud. Now watch what your body does when you do that. Come back to center and say no. And watch what your body does when you say that. Now, for most people, when they say yes, the body moves forward like this. When they say no, the body sways backwards. You may have it the other way around. You might sway backwards for a yes and forwards for a no. Everybody's different. Most people sway forwards for a yes and backwards for a no. It doesn't matter. Just find out which one it is for you. And then practice this technique by saying some statements that you already know the answer to. You already know if they're true or false. So, for example, if you say to yourself, the sky is red, your body should sway backwards, or your body should sway no. Make some statements about your life, about who you are, about things you already know, and test that the body is giving the accurate response to the statements that you're making. Now, change the statements so that they are about your desire. And you can use statements like, I believe this will manifest next week. I believe there is a problem blocking this from manifesting. I believe I have the power to manifest. I believe that I can have this particular desire. I believe this desire will manifest any moment now. Feel free to experiment with it. You can ask more specific questions depending on the desire itself, but this will give you a good indication of where you are at and your own internal belief system. Because if your body believes that something is a yes, it will respond accordingly. Everybody is going to have different stories, different beliefs as to why their desire is not manifested just yet. But one thing that you will all have in common is that you don't believe it's already done. So if you go to that part first, there's no need to really do anything else. Hope this helps.